What's the real reason that you're hearing Simmons wants out of Philly?
Well, Molly, is simple. He's scared. He's scared. And it's not because of basketball or playing with Joel and B and that the process don't work, because he didn't think about the process when he signed that 5-year, $77 million extension. He didn't think about it not working then. Here's the fact. Ben Simmons played poorly the last part of the season. We all witnessed
Preach.
that. I think the brother probably took, 3 shots in 7 games against the Atlanta Hawks in the fourth quarter. 3. And so at the end of the day, right now, Ben Simmons is pointing the finger at everybody except who we need to be pointed at. And that's Ben Simmons. Look, it's not easy. I get it, right? As a professional athlete or doing anything that you have to deal with a crowd or deal with feedback on social media or whatever the case may be. But he's afraid to face the crowd. He's afraid to step in that arena and hear those boos and silence the critics. And this is part of the reason why I get so angry at guys, is because it allows these old school guys like Stephen A. and everybody else to say, you know what, this generation is soft. Not talking down on the actual skill set, but the mindset. The mindset of going out there and saying, you know what, I got the mentality. I was watching the Gilbert Arenas podcast. Love and respect the brother. And I heard him say, Doc Rivers didn't use him right and he should be used and put in a position like Giannis. Well, he's not Giannis. And it's because of the mindset. We saw what Giannis did last year in the finals. He went to the free throw line, something that we thought that he couldn't do, or he showed us that he couldn't do. He went and knocked down, I believe it was 17 out of 19 free throws on the biggest stage of basketball. And so when I look at certain situations, I take even looking at, television, for example. Can you put us up where I can see everybody's faces? I need to see everybody's faces.
Sure.
Because you think about television, right? And people think it's easy. I got a whole lot of respect for Stephen A. I got a whole lot of respect for Molly. I got a whole lot of respect for Swagoo. You know why? Because I'm new in this TV area, right? Y'all been doing it for a very long time and doing a great job at it. And I get stopped all the time and they ask me, is it, Perk? How you deal with it? How's it going being on TV? And you know what? When I first started, I had a lot of critics. Oh, Perk ain't gonna be on TV for long. He speak with broken English. He's not that good. He don't use big words. He don't do this. But look, I didn't sit back. I didn't cry about it. I got better at my craft. I'm going to continue to get better at it. And I'm going to continue to come on here and be myself and continue to prove people wrong. And then all of a sudden, you start to see these people starting to say, hey, you know what? I'm starting to actually like Kendrick Perkins. I'm starting to actually like what he brings to the table. And we all have experienced that. But you got to have a mental toughness about yourself, some type of grown man mentality about, I'm about to silence critics, and he don't have it.
Let me say this to you. First of all, I am proud of you because you got better and better, and you continue to get better and better, and you do great television. I'm proud of you, and I'm proud of what you've done in this business and what you will continue to do. That's number one. Let me get that out of the way. Number two, I want to give love to the Gilbert Arenases of the world, the Joe Buddens of the world, and others. Not just the athletes, but a lot of cats doing these podcasts because they do a damn good job with it. Yep. We need to give them credit where credit is due, and I respect them brothers as well. Number three, let me get back to Ben Simmons. I don't disagree with what you're saying because I'm on the record. I think it's pretty weak, and I think it's pretty weak because he pointing the finger at everybody but himself. You should feel compelled to make up to the fans in Philadelphia how you performed in the series against the Atlanta Hawks rather than running away from Philadelphia. You should want to run back to Philadelphia. And I'll tell you why, if you've Ben Simmons, why you should want to run back. Because my brother, Ben Simmons, if you are watching, you are literally a jump shot away from being LeBron James 2.0.
Yep.
If this brother hits 70 to 75% of his free throws, he is so special at 6'10", with those ball handling and passing skills, that basketball IQ, combined with his defensive prowess. This brother is an elite talent that could be a superstar in this league. And as a person that wrote in Philadelphia for 17 years, as a college writer, and then an NBA writer, and then an NBA columnist, before I became a general sports columnist, I'm telling you right now, I couldn't find 3 places in America better to be a star in than the city of Philadelphia in terms of a fan base that will come out and ride and die with you so long as you that dude. You understand? AI is a testament to that. AI never won a championship. When have you ever heard somebody talking about AI negatively when it comes to his heart? He's a warrior. I mean, he was a man operating in a land of giants. And the number one element, it wasn't a crossover. It wasn't how he danced on people. It wasn't him jumping above the rim. It damn sure wasn't his defensive prowess or him pulling up the Jays or averaging even 28 to 30. What they loved about AI most was that he was a warrior. You knew he wasn't scared of a damn soul. And he didn't run from Philadelphia. He was like, let's go. Give me the rock and let me show you how I'm going to do this. And so we got to pay attention and understand that that element that you're saying, Kendrick Perkins, is right about Ben Simmons. Here's the only thing that I would say. He was complaining about the 76ers long before last season, long before Doc Rivers arrived. He'd been complaining about the 76ers since Brett Brown was there, and it took the ball out of his hands in the fourth quarter in favor of giving it to Jimmy Butler and running things through Jimmy Butler and Joel Embiid while he was roaming around the baseline there. Ben Simmons didn't like that, and he didn't like how he was being utilized by Brett Brown. So that is legitimate. It's not just about the fans, even though he'll deny it, that it's about the fans at all because he don't want the fans against him. He'll talk about it being about against the organization. But the organization is the same organization you signed your contract extension for. You still owed $147 million for, all right? And to not show up to work a year after signing that contract extension is egregious. And if he don't show up to work, it will be held against him because everybody in the league will assume he's the kind of dude that's going to quit on you. He better be careful. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.